Get on to rock, get up to burn, stand with the pride, ever feel your desire.
Hello and welcome back to some more Phoenix Wright. Is there any justice for all? Last time we got to court. We listened to Gumshoe's testimony, there was nothing wrong with that. And then we listened to Trillo's testimony, and apparently he was not waiting at the entrance of the circus the entire time. He was chasing money. He stole a ring that he was going to use to propose to Regina. So there's a flaw in that testimony, and we had to figure out what's going on. Because he couldn't possibly have seen Max, or maybe he did, maybe he didn't. We'll find out now. And this is his testimony. I'll give you that I was waiting that night for Regina. But that doesn't change the fact that I saw Max in the plaza that night. He showed up after I had been waiting there for about 5 minutes. I said, "Good evening" to him, but he didn't even acknowledge my presence. I'm absolutely sure it was him. I saw Max doing the galactic at the same. There's no way I could have mistaken someone wearing those 3 ridiculous symbols.
So that means money didn't show up until after you saw Max?
That's right. Money ran up less than a minute after I saw Max. Then Money snatched the ring. And you went chasing after him? How long was it until you came back to where you were waiting? Well, let's see. I'd say about, I suppose, 5 minutes. I think.
So the victim could have arrived at the scene in that 5-minute stretch.
Mr. Wright, please proceed with your cross-examination.
Okay.
So you were only concerned with waiting for Regina that night? That means you probably wouldn't have noticed if someone else showed up. You should think about how many eyes I actually have. I've got 4, you know. 4. Counting Ben, of course. With that many eyes, do you really think someone would have slipped by me? 4 eyes is an awful lot of attention, directed at one area, I suppose. Yikes, the judge is even more dangerous to our case than Jello. So you saw Max coming out of the big top that night? Of course, that's where I saw him coming from. I was staring at the entrance of the tent the entire time. Does that make sense, especially since he was waiting for Regina? Okay, those first 2 were just a complete waste of time. Show up after I had been waiting there for 5 minutes. About what time would you say these events took place? You're one of the dumbest people on the planet if you can't figure it out yourself. You already know that practice finished promptly at 10 p.m. And you already know that I went to the lodging house right after practice. You don't need to be a brain surgeon to know around what time it was when I saw him. Just add 10 more minutes. I'm sure you can do that. And what time was it? Indeed. What time was it? What time was it? Let me think about that for a second. Yo, no good at
1, 2, 3. It was 10:10 p.m.
God, I'm surrounded by idiots. Ah, yes, that sounds about right. It sounds about right because that's the time I saw Max on the sea. I said good evening to him, but he didn't even acknowledge my presence. So you testify that you said good evening to Max that night. You must enjoy asking incredibly obvious questions. You say good morning in the morning and good afternoon during the day, right? It's obvious that I'd say good night to someone at night. What, Ben? You got something to add? Let me guess. That's not it, Trillo. You said good evening at night. Yeah, I'm sorry, Trillo. Mr. Chris, I would prefer if you kept your ventriloquist act outside of the courtroom. Impossible! Performer lives and breathes his performances. You should know better. There's gotta be something wrong with this bit of testimony. Ben's half-comedy act.
Yeah, evening.
Isn't that a bit strange to you? What do you mean? Well, if you hate Max so much, why would you bother being so nice to him? strikes me as somewhat strange. Why would it strike you as strange?
Exactly. How is it strange to be cordial to one of your coworkers?
Well, if it was simply just being cordial to a coworker, I'd understand. Ow! That hurt!
Maybe you should think of having some proof before your lips start flapping next time. Proof is everything in this world. You should have learned that back in grade school.
There's no reason that Trilla would ever say something nice to Max. How do I go about that? Proving that with the evidence?
Bluffing is everything in this world, but I'm sure you already learned that one.
I guess I can give it a shot. Witness will resume his testimony. I'm absolutely sure it was him. I saw Maximilian Galactica say! You are 100% absolutely sure of what you just said. I told you already. Jeez, I am 100% absolutely sure.
There's no way you could be more confident than that, right?
Okay, so... those three ridiculous symbols, huh? How's he gonna do this again? Out of curiosity, exactly how many times have you asked that question by now? If you're gonna ask again, I'll answer with a chorus. Every time together now, silk hat, cloak, white roses. Thank you very much. Maya, you didn't have to join in, did you?
But it's fun shouting out with everyone else. There has to be a hole in his testimony somewhere.
I agree. But do we have proof to make something stick?
Yeah. All we can do is try, right, Nick? We've gotta have something that can't read. We gotta have something that will prove useful.
Alright, time to go to work. So, obviously, first they were useless. I heard one who showed up after I had been waiting there for about 5 minutes until he showed up at 10:10. Said good evening, which was the one we're suspicious about. But what's in the evidence could prove
This is
that
big brain.
Oh, the bottle. The bottle.
Oh, duh. Yeah, I wouldn't have said good evening to someone that clonked me over the head either. Fuck that.
Objection.
Trillo, is it not true that you had a fight with Max on the day of the murder?
A fight?
A fight over Regina, to be exact. It wasn't that big a deal. It was just an argument. A disagreement at most. A disagreement usually doesn't end with someone getting clonked over the head. With a bottle, no less. Yeah! That morning, Ben got clobbered over the head by Max, didn't he? What? Is that an admission of assault and battery? Ouch!
Before we handle that, we should wrap up the defense's murder charge first.
The truth is that on the day of the crime, the defendant and witness had a huge fight. There's absolutely no way they would have suddenly become cordial that evening. Moreover, just consider the personality of the witness on stand. He's a giant asshole. There is no way a puppet this Lou would just up and say good evening to his rival. Ah.
Are you saying that the witness is lying? Yeah.
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 What is he trying to frame the defendant by claiming to have seen him on the crime scene?
I didn't tell a single lie. Honestly, I just...
That's enough from you, Mr. Quist. Mr. Wright.
Yes, Your Honor. Let's clarify this testimony for the court. Could you explain your theory about who the witness actually saw that night?
Different person.
It is my belief that the witness did indeed see someone that night. It was just someone else. That's who he said good evening to.
What kind of theory is that?
Correct one. Furthermore, I don't believe the person the witness saw was Max at all.
What?
he had truly met Max that night, there would have been no greeting at all. Which means there was only one proper answer. The person the witness saw that night was not Maximilian Galactica. That is why Trillo made the effort to greet whoever it was that he saw that evening. Or good evening, as he put it.
What in the world? You.
Would the defense kindly explain who it was that Trillo saw that evening? Was it the ringmaster? I'm thinking it was the ringmaster.
Yeah.
Who else would it be?
Yeah.
Considering the ill temper of this witness, there's only one person he would greet. It must be Regina! It's Regina, right? She's so cute. No, Your Honor, it is not Regina. If it was Regina, Trillo would have given her the engagement ring as present. Oh, yeah, I suppose you've got a point there.
It was Russell Berry, the victim himself, was it not?
Mm-hmm. You are correct. It was indeed Russell Berry.
Francisco, why are you helping him?
I mean, not really helping him, just stating facts. Who else could it have been?
I guess.
The person you saw that evening was the victim, the ringmaster, Russell Berry. That's why you greeted him, Trillo. Isn't that correct? Answer the question, Mr. Quist. Yeah! Order. How do you respond to this? Wait a second. Well, at first I thought it was the old man. But once I got a better look at him, it was obviously Maximilian Galactica.
That's your new lie.
I think it is high time we clear the air about this question. Mr. Quish obviously witnessed a single person in the area of the plaza that evening. The problem is identifying who exactly was that person. Was it Maximilian Galactica, or was it the ringmaster? Mr. Russell Berry. Russell. He was certainly rushing to his death.
The prosecution argues that the defendant that the witness saw that night was the defendant the witness saw that night. Okay. Can't read. I've said this multiple times, but I can't. The witness clearly stated that he saw the defendant's 3 symbols.
3 symbols?
Yeah.
Alright, this is getting old. Come on, man. You gotta remember them by now. Here we go again. Everyone, all together now. Ow!
Yes, we know. The silk hat, the cloak, and the white roses.
A silk hat and a cloak. Anyone could wear them. They'd even look good on me.
Stop it, Phoenix. What was that?
Well, the witnesses endlessly repeated that he saw Max's 3 symbols. However, how did we really know it was Maximilian Galactica? It could have been someone else, dressed up as him. Possibly even Russell Berry.
What?
Miss One Karma. You have clear evidence that the person the witness saw was the defendant?
Well,
If that's the case, then it is impossible for me to make a judgment at this point. Yes! I think we finally want to point in this one.
That's very unfortunate.
Huh?
You're just a little too excited for your own good, Mr. Phoenix, Wright?
He is. What do you mean by that? Dude, we still have one more witness, the fucking clown. We should...
Merely establish one thing from this witness. Establish that this witness saw one person in the plaza that night. I applaud you for your effort, but
What?
who that person was can only be answered by the next witness.
Huh? Seriously, did he just forget?
Yeah. Your Honor, the prosecution will provide, beyond a shadow of a doubt, an answer to that question, and evidence that clearly establishes one thing. That there is no more other than Maximilian Galactica responsible for this crime.
Very well. The court will now take a 10-minute recess. During that time, I request the prosecution prepare their next witness. A court is now in recess.
Yeah.
Go play, everybody.
To the playground. Okay.
Okay. Wait, how long are we recording this? Damn it, it's about like 15 minutes, I'd say. I don't know if that's long enough for a part. I'll probably edit it onto the last part. Next time, we'll see you guys as we prosecute the clown. I mean, we'll interrogate. No, it's not right. We'll listen to the clown.
Yeah.
Bye.